hours into Monday. So we're not completely shutting things off just yet, but we are going to be looking at this snow to continue to be coming in here as we head into the afternoon. So we'll continue to take a look at this here as we go through the next couple of hours. Josh?
Oh, all right, guys. Valerie, thank you very much. We kind of have a lot going on obviously, to kind of talk about right now. Sometimes I think if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. Out of town on this one, but kind of not out of touch with what's going on at home right now. So a couple of things to really kind of go over about this storm. Overall, this storm is going to play out like we've been talking about for the last couple of days. So that is kind of a good thing. But there have been some small changes in the mix. Valerie was talking about that a little bit. So we will kind of go over that a little bit. What was that? Our audio operator or producer was just talking to me. Okay, all right. So we can show you some graphics. So I got to thank Valerie for helping me out with that in the graphics department here. So in the big picture of things, what we have going on to kind of set the stage for you, we have that initial low that's kind of pushing its way to Pittsburgh. That one is going to weaken, and then we're going to get that classic coastal storm to develop. And that's going to become the main player later on this afternoon and this evening. So that's still the big picture. But some things have changed a little bit. Again, these have been little changes, not big changes. So right now, what we're expecting is periods of moderate to heavy snow through the better part of the afternoon. So that's going to continue. You can expect that at your house. We kind of talked about this on. You can expect that at your house. We kind of talked about this on Thursday and Friday a little bit. We talked about that. In our weather world, when we geek out, we call it a warm nose intrusion. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but that's what we call it, and that's when warm air kind of works its way into the storm. And when that warm nose comes into the storm, it's going to impact what is falling. So we have snow falling now, but that little warm nose is going to change some of that snow to sleet from about the Lehigh Valley and point south. So what we're thinking right now is that warm nose could end up getting into parts of Schuylkill, Carbon, and Monroe counties. And that is going to cut down on some snow amounts, or potentially cut down on some snow amounts in that part of the world. So just keep that in mind. You might end up being on the lower end of the range in Monroe, Carbon, and Schuylkill County, because your snow could end up changing to or mixing with a little bit of sleet. The other thing that warm nose does is it cuts down the snow to liquid ratio. So let's geek out here. The snow to liquid ratio, you probably all heard about you get 10 inches of snow for every inch of water, okay? So that's kind of normal, so to speak, normal. But when you have Arctic air involved in a mix, that really brings up that snow to liquid ratio. So instead of 10 inches of snow for every inch of water, you could end up getting 15 or even 20 inches. But in this situation, that warm nose is going to bring down that snow to liquid ratio. So that means wherever that warm nose is, it's going to bring down those snow amounts. It kind of messes with the atmosphere a little bit. So I think we're going to be in a situation where the farther north we live, the Endless Mountains, Bradford County, Susquehanna County, Northern Wayne County, you're not going to see that warm nose. And I don't even think you're going to see the effects of that warm nose. All right. So you're going to have those higher snow to liquid ratios. You're going to have that 15 to 20 inches. You are going to see snow coming down today at the rate of about 1 to 2 inches per hour. Now, the farther south you go, let's say from about Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, and into the southern Poconos and into Schuylkill County, you may not have that change over to sleet in some of those parts, but the atmosphere is going to sense that warm nose. So that may help to cut down snow accumulations just a little bit. So instead of being at the higher end of the range, you may end up being at the lower end of those ranges. So just something to keep in mind. You know, we're kind of getting deep in the weeds here in terms of meteorology, but it's just a sense of what's going on, how this storm is going to play out. The other thing to kind of consider with this storm, it's moving a little bit faster. Initially, we thought this storm was going to wrap up Sunday night, early Monday morning, but now it's a little bit faster. So at this stage in the game, we do think that storm is going to wrap up probably this evening. I would say between about 7 o'clock this evening and midnight, 1 o'clock, that steady heavy snow is done. There will be some lighter leftover pockets of light snow and some snow showers, but I think that steady heavier snow is going to be wrapping up probably between about 7 and midnight this evening. So that is going to be, great news if you have some travel plans this evening, or even first thing tomorrow morning. So I do think we get ourselves into kind of cleanup mode. So that is cleanup mode Monday morning. That's when we're really going to be able to get into cleanup mode. Most of us, anyway. I would not be surprised if our snow removal companies. I wouldn't be surprised if they're out working by about 9, 10, 11 o'clock tonight. All right, let's go get a jump start on those businesses. I will say my dad's in suburban Pittsburgh, and they're getting several inches of snow as well. I already heard from the guy who does his driveway. He's like, Josh, hey, you want me to take care of that when it's done? Yeah, so I think he's going to be probably heading out tonight at some point to get that done. If not, knowing him, probably 5, 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So that's kind of the situation that we're in terms of what we're going to expect this afternoon. Not to parrot everything that Valerie just said, but heaviest snow, periods of moderate to heavy snow through the afternoon. That's key message number one. Key message number two, the warm nose intrusion. So I hope Candace and Nick are listening right now and can work that into their coverage this afternoon. But that warm nose intrusion is going to potentially change that snow to sleet, Monroe, Carbon, and Schuylkill counties. And it's also, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, they sense that and bring down those snow months slightly. We're not thinking big changes here. So that's key message number two. Key message number three is that the steady heavy snow is wrapping up this evening. And I think key message number four is that we will be in cleanup mode tomorrow. There's no doubt in my mind there's going to be schedule adjustments for tomorrow, but I think if you're waking up at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, you're going to be looking for the gloves, the jacket, the shovel, and the snowblower. So that is how we see things unfolding right now. We're still expecting 12 to 18 inches of snow across parts of northern Pennsylvania. I would not be surprised if someone in the Endless Mountains, northern Wayne County ended up with slightly more. And then those snow totals are going to drop off a little bit the farther south that you go. So, Candace, Nick, that is kind of the latest and greatest on how this storm is going to unfold How have you guys been holding up? Was the drive in this morning okay?
I was just, in
Yeah.
fact, Candace just joins us now. Joshua, I'm just going to ask Candace the same question. What was your drive in from the Pittston area?
Not good.
Not bad.
I went on River Street, so I took I guess the back road, so to speak, because I didn't. If I got stuck, I don't want to be like stuck on the interstate.
Right.
At least I would be close to like a convenience store, house, or somewhere that could like hook me up if I needed to. The roads are not good, and that's not a slam on DPW workers or crews that are out clearing the roads, because that's all I saw were plow trucks and a couple of people like me, either on their way to work or somebody who didn't have the best tires, stuck at an intersection, spinning their wheels. So it's not good. Like, if you have nowhere to go, do not even chance it. It's not.
Stay
I
home.
don't even think I went above 30 miles an hour the whole way here.
Plenty to do at home. I got lucky. I got behind a plow on Wilkes-Barre Boulevard, and so it was relatively clear sailing.
But even then, when you get behind some of the plows, Josh, like they're pushing the snow off to the side, but because it's coming down at a pretty good clip,
Right.
it's almost like that didn't really do anything. Do you know what I mean? Where it's the plow you're not seeing much asphalt is what I guess I'm trying to say. Is like they're pushing it off to the side, but they just have to go right back around and do it again because it's like a dog chasing its tail.
And that's going to be the problem. I mean, this afternoon, snow coming down 1-2 inches an hour, and the road crews, DPW, they all kind of treat things a little bit differently. I know PennDOT in the past has not, when they plow, they haven't taken it the whole way down to the asphalt. It is almost we're going to leave a little bit of snow there. I don't know the reasoning or the rationale behind their snow removal techniques, but I have experienced that. But yes, they make a pass, and next thing you know, the road's covered again. And now you're in a situation of, well, all right, hopefully I can follow a plow truck if I'm going to be driving on the roads today. We are never ones to tell people to stay at home. I remember when I first started in my career, it was snowing, and I'm like, hey, if you don't have to go out today, don't go out. Uh, I actually had some people get mad at me for giving that advice. They're business owners, and they said, "Josh, you're telling people not to come to my store today." So I do take that. I do take that feedback and I put it into practice. So what we usually tell people in these situations is me, my team, we're not going to tell you to stay home. But when your local municipality is saying stay off the roads, when PennDOT is saying stay off the roads, when the Commonwealth, when the government says don't go out today, uh, they're the ones who are, thinking in your best interest. And that also can just create chaos. I mean, unless you have to be out there like some of us, um, it's if something happens to you, you're creating a situation. And I know some of us, you have to go to work. Medical professionals, you got to go to work. I have family that has been picked up by an ambulance because they had not an emergency, but they're medical employees and they were needed at the hospital. So it's, well, okay, we understand you can't drive. So we are going to send an ambulance to come and pick you up because we need you at the facility today. So just keep those kind of things in mind. I mean, I've driven home many times in a snowstorm at 11:30 or 12 o'clock tonight. And typically, Candace and I are the only two on 81 driving northbound, but it's typically just the two of us. And I think she and I don't mind driving in the snow as much as some people do. So it really is, um, think about your ability, that kind of situation. Just be mindful of that. I will say that you guys had to drive in snow this morning, and Had to walk from the hotel bed to the hotel table where I'm sitting right now. So luckily, I didn't have to drive in any snow today. But like I said at the beginning of this, sometimes if I didn't have bad luck, I don't think I have any luck at all.
Yeah.
Snowstorm on a day when I'm out of town. What are you going to do?
We're glad you're with us, though, on a Sunday. Thanks, Josh.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more team coverage of the snowstorm. All right, welcome back, everyone. We're continuing our live team coverage for you of this Arctic assault as everybody is embracing the storm that we don't have a choice to, the snowstorm, and we don't have a choice to deal with.
There's a lot of snow, and we're not anywhere near done yet. So let's get outside to our team. We got team coverage on this Sunday morning. Technically, still, our Brian Orban is in Dallas. What are you seeing out there, Brian?
Yes, good morning, and snow plows are pretty much the only thing you can see other than the white stuff. You just missed it before, but behind me circulating the roundabout was a Dallas snow plow going through, working hard on getting those streets cleared, and ironically to my other side there is another plow clearing out the lot here at Pizza Bella in Dallas. Those snow plow drivers working hard to keep the roadways, the parking lots clear. Sidewalks are still pretty covered though. They're
All right, Brian Orban reporting live there, and is just right on cue. A plow
right behind you.
Brian. That's good. It's good news to see the plows out there. Again, it's the side roads that's going to be the big problem. Some of the main roads you probably could pass by if you need to get out there.
Right, and we were talking about this too, Brian. Maybe you can see the same thing. Like when you see the plows go by, it's almost like they make a path, and then they just kind of need to keep going through it because it just keeps piling up.
Yeah, it's just coming down so fast that, you know, the sheer amount of snow they're getting, as soon as they make that pass, within minutes, again, it looks like that nobody was by, but they are making the rounds, as I've been here now for about an hour, and I've seen numerous snowplows go by almost every 5 or 10 minutes at this point.
Yeah, well, I will say, again, I try to look at the glass half full. This is very light, fluffy snow. It's about the lightest I've seen in a long, long time, and for shoveling, it'll be a little bit easier. All right, thank you, Brian Orban, reporting live. Continuing with our team coverage now, I believe Matthew Howard is standing by, one of our meteorologists here at 2822 News. He is not too far from our studios here in Wilkes-Barre. Hey, Matthew, what's going on?
Hello. So we're right here in downtown Wilkes-Barre. That snow is heavily falling. It's been steady, but temperatures right now very cold. We're only into the upper single digits. Some areas even a little bit colder than that. That's making that snow very fluffy, and that's making any of that rock salt treatment. We haven't seen a lot of rock salt treatment because rock salt works best when it's above 20 degrees. So a lot of that snow is sticking and is frozen to the roads. We've seen some cars here and there nearby. Those roads right now are pretty snow covered in downtown Wilkes-Barre, and even I drive about 40 minutes each day. It took me about twice the commute to get here. So those roadways are going to be very slow. If you have a car that's good in the snow, it would help it. Definitely avoid that long travel. I measured the snow just a little bit ago here in downtown Wilkes-Barre. We have about 5 inches of snow, and that snow is heavy, it's falling, and also at times it's been getting a little bit breezy. Wind chills have been below 0 for a lot of us this morning, so very cold out there. And if you're out here for an extended period of time, it may be good to bring some layers. So that snow is going to be lasting heavy through the afternoon, and we're going to be seeing it still a little bit heavy through the evening before we see some more ending towards the overnight hours. So travel impacts will still be going through tomorrow as well. A lot of businesses are closed today. Some are even closed or delayed tomorrow. So just keeping that in mind if you're planning to head out and do any of that. From 2822 News, I'm meteorologist Matthew Howard in downtown Wilkes-Barre. Back to you in the studio.
Matthew, thank you. Appreciate that. You see like a couple people walking by. That's like the best commute right now.
And there's a couple people walking by.
Yep.
A lot quicker than driving, yeah.
In some cases, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Hey, thanks, Matthew. All right, let's get to Joe Mason. He is not too far from downtown, the square in Wilkes-Barre. And Joe, what are you seeing out there?
Well, good morning, guys. Yes, it's the best way I can describe public square in Wilkes-Barre right now is eerie. There's no people walking around. There's hardly any traffic. The only thing you're really seeing is a lot of snow and these snow plows. Walking into work today, I live right near the square here in Wilkes-Barre, and there's no college kids walking to and from class. This is just an interesting day, and this snow doesn't look like it's going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, given too that it's a Sunday, I guess we should be grateful that it's happening on a weekend where maybe there's not a lot of activity anyway, like during Monday through Friday. But I guess that's good if people aren't out and about right now, just to hunker down.
And you know, I would imagine, Joe, there's probably there are several businesses, restaurants in the downtown area in Wilkes-Barre. I'm guessing none of them are open. Am I right?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, I've been here for the past half hour or so, give or take, and I've seen nobody going into businesses, nobody leaving businesses, no lights on, anything like that. The only thing we're seeing down here is a lot of snow plows, and very limited foot traffic. That's all I'm seeing, at least.
Yeah, that's best. Businesses, and Josh mentioned this. If you have to go out, fine, but stay home and watch football or whatever you need to do today. And I know the stores were packed.
They were.
Thursday, Friday. A lot of people said they were trying to make chili and they couldn't get some of the basic ingredients for it. There's a reason for that. Everybody's got their,
it's the go-to meal.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
All right. Joe, thank you.
Thanks,
appreciate
Joe.
it.
All right, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back with our continuing coverage of the storm and our Arctic assault. We'll be right back. coverage. Arctic assault on this Sunday, a very snowy Sunday in NEPA.
All right, we've got the snow's piling up, and let's get the latest now with meteorologist Valerie Smock, who's joining us and keeping an eye on the storm and up to date on everything that's happening. Hi, Valerie.
Hi, yeah, we have a lot going on today. We've got snow all over the place, and it's basically staying as just plain snow right now. But I want to give you some of these snow totals, and this is what we were looking at a little earlier as these snow totals are still coming in and being updated. Some of this information is from as early as 8:45 this morning to about 9:54 in the morning, and that one was Edwardsville. So we're picking up now 5.2 inches of snow in Williamsport, a little bit less than 5 inches into Edwardsville and Jim Thorpe. 4.5 in Lewisburg, 2 in Halstead, though I did just get a report of around 5 inches in Montrose. So we are going to continue to see this snow moving through the area as we go through the course of the day. Some of this will be steady and heavy, and I do think at times later this afternoon it is going to be a little on the heavier side. So that's worth noting that you might be thinking it's heavy now, but you're not quite done. And this is a massive system. We have a lot of snow across the area. We had high pressure yesterday. That is moving out. But with that clockwise flow, we're continuing to tap into some of that warm Gulf moist air. And it's basically injecting it here into our neighborhoods. We have one low pressure system moving through the Ohio Valley. That's going to weaken and transfer its energy to this coastal low pressure system. And then that one's going to take over. But I want to point out that, as you can see, most of this is just snow. We do have some pinkish purple coming in. That's the sleet, and that's some of that nose of warm air that Josh was talking about here that could help hold down some snow totals. In downtown Scranton, snow continues to fall across the area. You can see it's not super windy there with the flag on top of the courthouse, but it is still enough wind that it is going to make it feel even a little bit chillier once you factor in those wind chills. Temperature right now in Towanda and Tunkhannock, Williamsport, Selinsgrove, and Lehighton, all at 10 degrees. A lot of folks, though, in the single digits. So it's not quite as cold as where things were yesterday at this time, but it is still going to be cold, and we're not going to see much of a break from that cold either. We are under a winter storm warning for all of northeastern and central Pennsylvania, and this will be the case until 7 p.m. on Monday. So there is still that chance, even though some of that heaviest and steadiest snow is going to wrap up a little earlier, you do still have that potential to have some snow showers here on the backside. Lots of cloud cover across the area, primarily looking at snow. As you can see, temperatures in the teens for much of the day. And when you look at the latter half of the afternoon, that's when we have that potential to start getting some of that sleet to try mixing in. But for the most part, the majority of that is going to be the farther south and east you go. And as I had said, we're going to stay cold. So anything that is coming in isn't really going to go anywhere. Temperatures for tomorrow morning right around 12, 13 degrees, 14 or so, but we're going to be in the teens, and it's not going to warm up too terribly much even into the afternoon. So let's time it all out for you. This is Futurecast. You can find the time in the upper part of your screen. You are primarily looking at some snow, but there's that purplish line coming in, and you'll notice that is impacting parts of Schuylkill County, Carbon, Monroe. That will be impacting those counties too. That's where the sleet is going to be coming in. A lot of this has been around the Lehigh Valley, but this is starting to press upwards into our neighborhoods. And on top of that, this is going to be more so later on this afternoon into this evening. But once you get into about the 9 o'clock hour, it's been pretty consistent with trying to show some sleet mixing in, at least in parts of the valley cities, even in parts of the northern tier. Am I convinced that's what's going to happen? Not really, but any sleet that does fall in the area in those more northern areas is not likely going to stick around very long. Then that's going to move out. You'll see much of that snow is going to be tapering off. Like Josh had said, a lot of this snow will start to taper off anywhere between about 7 and midnight. It was originally going to be between about 1 and 5 in the morning. As you can see now, a lot of this is going to be out of here by that point, and you just have those lingering snow showers. You'll see that around 10 o'clock on Monday morning. Relatively quiet through much of the day. It's kind of just that cleanup day at that point, but you do still have some snow showers that will be with us into the afternoon, a few back toward the Susquehanna Valley into the evening, and then things will try to taper off from there. So the snow started early today. There will still be some periods of heavy snow. We've got that sleet still as a possibility the farther south and east you go. Snow trying to wrap up between 7 p.m. and 12 a.m. Travel is going to be tricky. If you don't have to drive, just stay home. It'll be safer for everybody involved. Just give those plows a chance to get out there and get rid of all of this snow as best they can. You're primarily looking at about 12 to 16 inches of snow once all is said and done, though don't be shocked if there are a couple of 18-inch marks in there, and like the Endless Mountain, some of those higher elevations could be picking up even more than that. But you head down toward the Allentown area, including southern Schuylkill, Carbon, and Monroe County. That's where that sleet line is going to start pressing upwards, and that's where we can have those snow totals held down. So you're not necessarily going to see as much because you got that warmer air trying to come in as well. So for today, we're at 18 degrees, partly sunny, colder. It will be windy at times. Mostly it's going to be those gusty winds coming in, so you could have a little bit of that blowing snow. This is that light fluffy snow, so it'll move around pretty easily. For tonight, 12 degrees, mostly cloudy. That snow will continue to taper off, but we're not quite done. As we look at your future alert 7-day forecast, you will see we're under an alert date for today because of obviously all of the snow and that potential for some sleet. But on Monday, while the heaviest and steadiest snow will be tapering off, you are still going to be looking at a few snow showers lingering on Monday. It's also going to be a breezy day, and sorry to say that's going to be one of our warmer days here out of the week ahead. As we head toward Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll get in on a bit more sunshine across the area. Snow showers coming back in on Thursday. Might see some as we head toward the weekend as well, but you'll notice that this chill is not going anywhere. We have a lot of us going to be in the single digits for overnight lows. So if you are picking up some snow, it's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Candace and Nick.
All right. Valerie, thank you for the update. Let's get to Matthew Howard. He is live outside in Wilkes-Barre, not too far from our studios in downtown here. Matthew, what's up?
Kind of cutting out a little bit here and there. Oh, hi Nick and Candace. We are seeing that snow falling here in downtown Wilkes-Barre. I just measured about 5 inches of snow. But really one thing to keep in mind is that snow on the ground right now, as I grab just a little bit of it right here, it's not this wet snow, not this snowball type making snow. It is a very powdery snow, and it's going to be sticking around that way as we go through on the rest of the day. Temperature is really not warming up a whole lot across the region. That snow is going to be falling at a heavy rate, especially as we go through the next several hours and into the evening. And yes, as Josh and Valerie said, there is a chance for some areas in the south and east part of our region to mix in with some sleet. So that sleet forms is when we have a layer thousands of feet above our heads that is above freezing, and that snow cannot refreeze all the way. So some areas are going to deal with a little bit of that sleet. So right now across all of our region, we are staying all snow, and I expect some areas, a lot of areas, to stay all snow throughout the storm. So we're going to continue to monitor and give you updates. I'll be here in downtown Wilkes-Barre a lot of the day, and we are going to be seeing that and giving you updates. Nick and Candace, back to you. Meteorologist Matthew Howard.
All right, Matthew, thank you so much. You know, some of the higher elevations that you can see, it's really piling up. And Zach Paraway, he's up in the mountaintop area in Whitehaven, and he's joining us now live. Zach, what are you seeing up there?
Hello, Candace. Yes, I'm currently just seeing a winter wonderland here. I'm currently at the corner streets of Northumberland and Elmira, and the snow has just been coming down. I've been out here all morning since about 4 o'clock, and the snow has just been pouring down. This looks like the scene out of a Hallmark movie. The streets are being plowed as much as they can, but what you're seeing a lot more around this area is residents plowing themselves out, trying to get their cars in a space where they can easily get out of there, safe for tomorrow, because no one's going anywhere today. So, I mean, the plow trucks have come through a little bit, but not too much. The plow trucks are mainly kept toward the main roads. We're currently right near State Route 467, my apologies, and plow trucks have had much more of their attention towards those main routes, and we're also not too far away from I-80, so a lot of the plow trucks have been putting their attention towards these main state routes, leaving residential neighborhoods such as this one right here more or less attended until later today when more plow trucks can be accumulated toward that. So Candace, I mean, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of snow accumulating here. It's very pretty, but it's a lot to pile up on. So Candace, Nick, I hand it back to you guys, and we're just all going to try and stay safe out here.
Yeah, it's a Hallmark movie. The only difference is that's real snow.
Right.
Hallmark movies, it's all fake. They shoot them in the summer. Yeah.
Right. Zach, thank you. Yeah, you're seeing that a lot. it's almost eerie, as we had talked about before, just how quiet all the communities are because everyone's just staying
Home,
put.
not a lot of cars.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's no ambient noise except for maybe your neighbor's snow thrower or a shovel or two.
And you shouldn't have a tough time shoveling or even brushing the snow away. It is that light, so that's one good sign. Yeah.
It is. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to continue our live team coverage for you of this winter storm, but we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
All right, welcome back to our coverage of Arctic Assault 2026 on this snowy Sunday. Glad you guys could stay safe at home and be with us today.
Hey, it's the afternoon already.
Right?
It's like the longest morning
I
ever.
don't know about you, but I keep thinking it's Monday.
I know, me too. And it'll be the most Mondayest Monday ever tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, boy.
Let's get to Colby Hughes, our reporter out there. She is in Lackawanna County, Scranton. Colby, we were told that you had to move your location. Was that for safety reasons?
Yeah, so we're trying to show you more of what Scranton looks like as a whole. So we're trying to get to different points of Scranton. We were just in downtown Scranton right in front of the courthouse, and right now we're in the Green Ridge section of Scranton. It took us a little bit to get here. We were kind of fishtailing in the car, and we weren't really seeing a lot of people on the roads, luckily, so we were able to get here quickly, but we're just trying to give you guys a better look of what it looks like throughout the whole of Scranton since the city is so big. But right now, the snow is well past my ankles, as I said in our last update. It was at my ankles then, and it's well past that right now. We are still seeing not that many plow trucks. We saw one going by earlier, but I mean, there are few and far in between. So as you can see behind me, there's a car going right now. They're going very slow, and they're taking their time around the corners, taking their time going to the stop signs and the stoplights. But you know, you got to be careful out here. People are sliding on the roads, especially on those hills. So if you don't have to travel today, please don't make any unnecessary travel. Don't go outside, basically. It's cold and it's still snowing, but we will keep you updated throughout the day. For right now, we are still in Scranton. I'm Colby Hughes, 2822 News. Back to you guys.
All right, Colby Hughes reporting live out there. Thanks, Colby.
Yeah, no, you can see the snow piling up in her scarf, which in just minutes.
It's coming down hard and heavy, that's for sure. All
right,
let's get to Joe Mason, reporter. He is in, let's see, Wilkes-Barre, in downtown at the Square. Joe, what's the latest out there?
Well, Nick and Candace, welcome to winter. This is it right here. We're getting so much snow and it's now accumulating. And as we've been saying for the past hour or so now, the plows come through. I've seen plenty of them, but in just a few short minutes, all that snow is already back. So they have their work cut out for them today. But as I've also been saying, it's quite eerie here. There's only a handful of people I've been seeing walking by, but yeah, it's just very interesting to see Wilkes-Barre like this, because usually you see people bustling around, going through the square, you know, college kids going to and from class or to and from the, you know, dorm rooms and things of that nature, but none of that today, just because it's snowing. And as we've also been saying, you know, if you can stay inside and are able to stay inside, you probably should, because these roads are, you know, not the best despite the best efforts of these plow trucks.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? It's not, Joe, maybe you can describe this for us, but it's almost peaceful a little bit.
Yeah.
If you just like take a moment, just because it's so quiet and there's not much activity, it's kind of, I don't know, it's nice.
Yeah, it is. You don't get that in downtown too much, right, Joe?
Yeah, it's what we like to call a winter wonderland down here. There's not much noise. It's kind of calm. It's kind of peaceful. You know, I kind of wish I was back with you guys, warm in the studio, but you know, I'll be back there soon enough, heat up my lunch and things of that nature. But yeah, it is quite peaceful out here. You know, the snow is hitting me in the face, but you know, we're managing the best we can.
Hey, listen, that's why Candace makes the big bucks, right? You stay inside. Thanks, Joe. We appreciate
Joe.
We appreciate that.
We've all been there.
We've all
oh
been
my
there.
gosh,
Oh,
yeah.
boy, I was in an ice storm one time. You don't want to know.
Yeah.
A tree limb about the size of a car missed me by 5 feet. All right, let's get to Brian Orban. He is also out there, 2822 News reporter Brian Orban. Brian, I think you are pretty close to, what was it, Harvey's Lake, right? Dallas area?
Yes, Nick, that's correct. We're now at Harvey's Lake, and one of the unusual things is the visibility on the lake itself is reduced to near zero. You can't even see the other side of the shoreline. As a lot of our team has been saying, the quietness of this storm is really astonishing here. Typically slower this time of the year anyways, but Harvey's Lake today, other than for the plow trucks that have been out all day today, it's really, really eerily quiet here. The snow has been continued to fall at the same rate that it has been over the last couple of hours, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be letting up anytime soon, Nick.
All right, Brian Orban reporting live there in the thick of it. Plenty more to go today in the Arctic assault. Thank you, Brian.
You know, he makes a good point, because I noticed this on my drive into work today. The distance from a car or a plow that's in front of you just gets only a couple of blocks, then you can't even see the taillights.
Right, it's that, yeah, there's exactly, the snow is coming at that faster rate. That's a good point. Make sure you keep your distance though, because if somebody stops short, you're stopping short. Even if you have four-wheel drive, there's going to be a couple extra feet.
And I felt, you know, like some of the cars too that have that anti-lock brakes, so when you hit them it kind of pumps on its own. That was happening quite often at intersections, and I know better to not slam the brakes, just growing up in the Midwest, because I'm used to snowstorms like this. But you can't slam on your brakes, because you're going to end up right into a ditch. That's just how sloppy the roads are.
Let's see another location now on this Sunday afternoon. I believe we're going to Matthew Howard. Meteorologist Matthew Howard is not too far from our studios here. Matthew, you described the snow as very light and fluffy, which does mean we're trying to look at the glass half full here. It's a little bit easier to shovel, right?
Yes, Nick. It is a lot easier to shovel, but the snow is piling up very fast. We are seeing those snowfall rates in a lot of areas around an inch an hour. So when those plows come through, those roadways are getting covered. And because of how cold it is, that snow is sticking on everything. Rock salt treatment is not effective. So if you've noticed, maybe if you've been driving on some of those roadways, you've not seen that rock salt. So the rock salt has not been quite helpful at all. And through the rest of the day today, we are still going to remain very cold, about unusually cold for a snowstorm at least to happen. Right now, temperatures are into the single digits, and as I've just measured in the downtown Wilkes-Barre, we have about
No, we might have lost the audio there. We got the video and the audio. That's a nice combination for TV. That's live TV. That's what happens.
Right, and when it's this cold, sometimes the batteries just aren't working quite right.
Yes, that's a good point.
You know, what he was talking about how light and fluffy this snow is, and I think like my husband would do this, the leaf blower. Sometimes that's a good way to just kind of make a path.
Right, yeah.
Instead of using your whole body to like shovel it out.
Anything that does it, and maybe like every hour or two you go out there,
Yeah.
it makes the overall a lot
It's like
easier.
keep on top of it, the maintenance. It's
Yeah.
pain in the pants, but you know.
I believe our
It's
producer
easier.
just said we're going back to Brian
Brian.
Orban, who is in the Dallas area on this Sunday. And Brian, what are you seeing out there?
Hey guys, so yeah, again, the roadways out here, just like everywhere else, are very coated in snow, not due to a lack of plowing by our, plows and DPW, but just the sheer amount that it's coming down right now, even just on my face as I'm standing here right now, it's very unpleasant, but it's mostly white, powdery. There's no ice, thankfully, that's mixed into it. And as we speak, there are plow trucks plowing nearby restaurants like Corrado Pizza and other, well-known establishments in the area here. But the most astonishing thing is just the visibility, the lack thereof it, rather, out on Harvey's Lake. Makes you feel like you're sort of at one of the Great Lakes or in Canada, somewhere that doesn't really feel like northeastern Pennsylvania.
Right, Brian. I looked up Buffalo, their biggest snowfall totals in the last 10 years, and it was like 27 inches,
Yeah.
32. Certain areas.
You measure in feet.
Right, they measure it in feet there. Yeah. So this is relatively, you got to look at things relative here. But for NEPA, this is a pretty bad storm. I think anything over 9-10 inches here,
Right.
it slows things to a crawl.
Oh, it sure does. And I mean, it's winter in NEPA, so we are used to having this, but we haven't had like a solid snowstorm like this in
Nope.
5-6 years maybe.
A lot of slushy mixes,
Yeah.
but that's about it. All right, Brian, thanks. Stay there. We'll check in a few minutes. We'll take a break. Don't go away. Our Arctic Assault coverage continues right after this. Back, live coverage on this Sunday afternoon of Arctic Assault. Glad you could stay with us for storm updates today.
Yeah, it's what everyone's talking about, I guess, right? And the snow's coming down pretty good. Let's get right to meteorologist Valerie Smock now with the latest on what we can expect as we traverse through the day.
Yeah, we've got a lot of snow coming through, which I'm sure is no shock to anybody. We have been dealing with this here since early this morning, and in some places we saw some a little bit even before midnight last night, but not everything was reaching the ground. But everything that is falling now is definitely making its way to the ground. Here's what it looks like in downtown Wilkes-Barre. Lots of snow falling, and this is going to be kind of the view that we're dealing with here as we go through the course of the day. And there can be some times where later this afternoon, it's even a little bit steadier and heavier than this. Now, Brian Orban was talking about visibility. Yeah, we basically have nothing. So when you see a 0, that means it is less than a mile for visibility, and that is basically the entire area with the exception of Williamsport, and I would still imagine even at 1, it's not all that great. So we are dealing with some visibility issues due to all of this snow, and as you can see, it's a ton of snow moving across the area. All blue, some of it steady and heavy. You'll see they're just to the north of Reading there as that loop goes through. It's a little bit darker of blue. That's more of that steady to heavy snowfall. In the big picture, most of this system is snow, but we're getting ice with this, we're getting rain with this, some storms. You'll notice that we have some sleet back down toward Nashville, Tennessee Valley, also some rain in the same area. You've basically got all 3 things coming in one state at one time. In the big picture, the winter storm alerts that are in place, well, we've got winter storm warnings, and that includes all of northeastern and central Pennsylvania, and this will be in effect until 7 p.m. tomorrow. So 7 p.m. on Monday, that's when things will be backing off just a bit. 12 to 16 inches of snow once all is said and done, with isolated 18-inch amounts not out of the question. This is where we are going to also have a better potential that even a few 18-inch marks might be in the running too, just especially across those endless mountains, kind of the northern tier of the question. But where you're seeing that purple, that's the 8 to 12, and that's where we do have the potential for some sleet to be mixing in. Into Futurecast we go. This big batch of snow is eventually going to be moving out. You'll see a lot of this moving out by about midnight, and then things will start to taper off from there. But it is still cold. Temperatures in the single digits for a lot of folks, double digits, but low double digits at that, back toward the Susquehanna Valley. Wind speeds up to about 10 miles per hour for most of us, and that is enough to make it feel a little colder. But when you add in those wind gusts, that's even worse. So it feels even chillier across the area. When you look at where we are in terms of wind chills, we are below 0 for a lot of us. In fact, we are looking at 0 in Bloomsburg, 2 in Towanda, Lewisburg, sitting at around 1. Most everybody else is below 0 for that wind chill, and that includes in Pottsville, where we are now sitting at 14 degrees below 0. So we are going to be looking at all of these details here as we go through the next several hours, and we'll continue to bring you updates. But for now, we're going to send it over to Josh.
Oh, all right, let's go Nick and Candace first. We're tossing to, you said...
Colby, right?
Colby.
All right, so Colby Hughes, she's in the Scranton area, continuing our team coverage for us. And the snow is coming down pretty good. The last time we checked in with her, I mean, you could see it just piling up on her scarf.
Right. Yeah, our reporters are dressed for it for the most part. Connor forgot his gloves, but that's a small gray mark on that.
It happens. You know, you get thrown into the mix, and
Colby Hughes is standing by live out there in Lackawanna County tonight. What's the latest out there, Colby?
Well, good afternoon now. We are in the Green Ridge section of Scranton. We're in the Green Ridge Plaza, and for a usually busy area, there's nobody here. We are seeing a lot of people just driving slow if they are on the road at all. We've only seen a couple cars go through, and I'll be honest, I haven't seen many people attempt to shovel today. We've only seen snowplowers. There is one behind me, but he's pretty far back there. I don't know if you can see him. He's got his plow going, but he's going pretty slow. There's a lot of snow on the ground to cover. We did see one snowplow come through this area, but I mean, it's the same as we were saying earlier. The snow is falling much quicker than they can keep up with those snowplows. So once they come through, the snow is still falling right behind them as they pass through. So we've got some people trying to still make their way through. I don't know, a lot of businesses are closed. People are taking their chances out here on the road, but we will keep you guys updated. For now, reporting in the Green Ridge section of Scranton, Colby Hughes, 2822 News. Back to you guys.
All right, Colby Hughes reporting live there, and as we continue our coverage on this Sunday of Arctic Assault.
Yeah, it hit no stranger to snow and a lot of amounts of snow, the Poconos, and that's where our Heidi Martens is. She's in the Stroudsburg area covering our that section of our viewing area for us today. Heidi, describe what you're seeing there.
I think you guys described it perfectly. It is like a ghost town here on Main Street. I can't see anyone here. We had some plow trucks go by. We had a very few cars come by. They tried to go in. I do have my ruler here. As you can see now, it's kind of up to my shins. I'm just going to put this in here for you guys. And it's about 10 inches, about where I'm standing. So we are getting a lot of snow. And as I speak, there are some plow trucks going by now. We do have, as soon as they go by, the snow comes back down and the roads are just not clear. So we do advise everyone, do not go out unless you have to. We saw a few people with some snow boots on. They were trying to get their coffees from Wawa, so I can't blame them there. But for now, in Monroe County, Heidi Martens, 2822 News.
Yeah, I guess some places that have coffee is still open. So 10 inches of snow approximately in the Poconos and Heidi's area. That's really good. I hear what sounds like in the background, either a snowblower or a generator perhaps.
Something, yeah. You know what? Hey, thank you to everyone who's...
They are snow blowing with like a leaf blower.
Oh, see, right.
That's
That's the way to do it, man.
That's Candace's husband's method.
It is,
It
man.
works.
Work smarter, not harder, right? And thanks to everyone who's at convenience stores right now that are
going everywhere, so I don't blame them.
Exactly, right? No, thanks to all the convenience store workers too, because if you have to be at work and you've got one or two customers that straggle in for that coffee at Wawa.
They really appreciate
it. Yes, absolutely.
Now, our chief meteorologist, I guess he kind of did draw the long straw in this whole scenario of our Arctic assault. Josh is in Texas, in Houston, Texas. He joins us now from his hotel room. And Josh, you're down there, and I guess
for a weather conference.
A weather conference, yeah. Learn lots. Learn lots.
I'll tell you what, like I said, last go around, if I didn't have bad luck, I don't think I'd have any luck at all. I leave town and here we get a snowstorm. I can talk a lot. So if you guys need to kind of catch up and get some things organized back there, you know me, I can yak. So I'll take care of you here for a couple of minutes. A couple of things to talk about. Let's continue the snow blowing joke that may have been going on there. Candace knows I talk about this all the time. Neatness counts when it comes to snow removal, whether it's a shovel or a snow thrower. Neatness counts. Those lines need to be, pretty straight. I think her husband's like that too. So just my opinion anyway. Let's talk weather. The overall theme here is still the same. Moderate to heavy snow through the afternoon. There's the potential for some sleet. We'll get into some details about that. That said, this storm is picking up a little bit of speed. That doesn't mean its impacts are going to be less. It just means it's picking up some speed. It's probably going to be done a little bit sooner than what we thought Thursday and Friday. So let's walk you through that. This afternoon, periods of moderate to heavy snow will continue. That snow can come down at the rate of about 1 to 2 inches an hour. Keep that in mind, especially the farther north that we live. Endless Mountains, Bradford, Susquehanna, Wayne County. Higher elevations, that snow coming down at the rate of about 1 to 2 inches an hour. Be prepared for that. The other thing to keep in mind we've been talking about this possibility. Valerie touched on it a little bit. It is that sleet, the sleet mixing in on the southern warmer side of the storm. I've been kind of looking at some latest guidance here, new data rolling in. So it looks like the best opportunity to see some sleet would be Monroe, Carbon, Schuylkill counties, and Point South. that's the best chance to see some sleet. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the lower elevations in Lackawanna and Luzerne County also saw some sleet pellets at some point. So that said, the window of opportunity for sleet is about 2 to 6 o'clock in those areas that I mentioned. That don't hold me to the minute, but that's the rough idea there. About 2 to 6 o'clock, we'll start to see the possibility of that snow changing over to a little bit of sleet, okay? And when that happens, if and when that happens, that is going to cut down on your snow totals. That doesn't mean a drastic cut. You just may be at the lower end of our ranges rather than the higher end of our ranges on that one. So kind of keep that in mind in terms of what you can expect at your house. Again, the best chance for sleet, about 2 to 6 o'clock. Monroe, Carbon, Schuylkill counties, I wouldn't be surprised if, we get some reports of sleet pellets in Luzerne and Lackawanna County. It seems like any time sleet gets into the mix in these types of storms, it's going to happen in downtown Wilkes-Barre. I mean, I've plenty of times walking outside during a snowstorm at our station, and you hear it. You hear that. You're like, "What's that noise?" It's oh yeah, it's sleet. So that's one thing to kind of talk about. The other thing is, we mentioned snow coming out 1 to 2 inches an hour. So the farther north we live, the better chance we have of that happening. That's because it's colder. And to an extent, let me kind of elaborate on this again. So we have what we call a snow to liquid ratio. Generally, normal, 10 inches of snow for an inch of water. In this type of Arctic air situation, it becomes more of a 15 or 20 to 1, which means you can get 15 or 20 inches of snow for 1 inch of water. So that is what we're working with this here. Now, when that sleet starts to come into the picture, not only does that, reduce your accumulations because you're now getting sleet instead of the snow, but also it kind of changes the temperature profile of the atmosphere in and around it. So it's going to be one of those afternoons where the snow in Bradford County may be coming down at about 15 to 20 inches. They have those higher ratios, but then you get into northern Monroe County, Luzerne, Lackawanna. You may not have the sleet, but you're closer to that warm nose, that warm intrusion, and that helps to reduce those snow to liquid ratios. So there may be a point this afternoon where we're talking about a snow to liquid ratio across Bradford County at 20 to 1. And then you get into Luzerne County, and it's a little bit closer to 10 to 1. Basically, I'm telling you this because there are going to be some variations in snowfall rates, snowfall intensity, and snowfall amounts. So I think the farther south we live, closer to that sleet potential, that may cut down on snow amounts a little bit. Farther north, I just don't think you're going to see that changeover at this stage in the game. The other thing to really kind of talk about is the speed. There's been a general increase in the speed of this storm. So right now we're kind of thinking that we're going to see this taper off, the steady, heavier snow taper off, say, between about 7 and midnight. Then after midnight, there's still going to be some light snow around. There will still be some snow showers around. It's just not going to be as heavy. So I think we will see gradual improvement this evening. That may give some of our snow removal companies an opportunity to get out late tonight instead of first thing Monday morning. So that could certainly help with the cleanup. Been through these storms before where by the time I'm driving home at 12 or 12:30, midnight, 12:30, and the storm's wrapping up, I already see the crews out in parking lots, Garrity's, the bank, those types of situations where, hey, that snow's easing up. So let's get working on it so that business can get up and running kind of earlier Monday morning. I do kind of think that we are looking at mainly cleanup on Monday. I think Monday is going to be that situation. Yeah, you're waking up. I don't know if you're like Nick Toma, you're going to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning getting ready to shovel. And if you're like Josh, you're probably going to wait until about 10 o'clock. But you know, we'll save that for a later time. So I think we'll be in cleanup mode on Monday, which could end up helping with Monday afternoon, Monday evening activities, or we'll see what that does for school schedules on Tuesday. Generally, in these situations, with this much snow, we typically have schools off for at least one day, if not two. I was anticipating that, but given the speed of this storm and how it's kind of increased here slightly, maybe about 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours on the back end, that may kind of help some school districts out. But you know, you got to get into the situation of, well, if you want to open school on Tuesday, you kind of got to clean up the roads first so that your maintenance crews can get there to clean up the school to get it open. So we'll see how things go with that. I'm just going to stick to whether or not predicting school cancellations. So overall, again, we are looking at moderate to heavy snow this afternoon. We are looking at that sleet possibility anywhere between about 2 and 6 o'clock. Again, don't hold me to the minute on that one, but that's the general time frame. We're thinking the best chance for that is going to be Monroe, Carbon, Schuylkill counties. I wouldn't be surprised it happens in some of the lower elevations in Luzerne and Lackawanna County, so don't be surprised about that. Snow totals, we've been showing you kind of the same map for the last couple of days. It still looks like the highest amounts will be northern Pennsylvania, the Endless Mountains, Sullivan, Bradford, Susquehanna, Wayne counties, 12 to 18. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bullseye or a jackpot somewhere in that part of the world that comes up with some slightly higher amounts. Okay, keep that in mind. This storm, there's just a lot of the dynamics within this storm. They can be pretty impressive. We're looking at the potential for some snow bands to maybe set up right near that New York Pennsylvania border, near Binghamton kind of situation. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that through the afternoon. And again, going over the speed of this storm, we are thinking an earlier wrap up of the steadier and heavier snow, likely ending between about 7 and midnight tonight, and with just lesser amounts or lighter snow overnight into first thing tomorrow morning. So that could also kind of help with the cleanup process. That's the nitty gritty. That's the latest and greatest on this, on actually what you can expect as we roll through the next couple of hours here. Candace and Nick, I flew down here yesterday and I just saw online 10,000 flights canceled today. So air travel is a hot mess. Landing in Houston yesterday afternoon, United That was probably last June or who knows when, but it was not the worst day, but there were delays yesterday. You can tell people are on edge. Even not only passengers, but flight crew.
Oh,
certainly. It seems like we lost you there.
That passengers are on edge. I'm sorry?
But you froze up for a bit. No big whoop. You're back now.
Okay.
All right, Josh, listen, we're going to check back in with you in just a bit. We do need to take a quick break, but we will continue our team coverage of the Arctic assault after this. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Candace Kelly. Julie Dunphy's joining me now as we continue our team coverage of this wonderful snowstorm that we're all experiencing together.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun to take a look around the region. And we're going to go to our meteorologist, Matthew Howard, now, who is live in Wilkes-Barre this afternoon. Matthew, what are you seeing?
Hi, Julie. So we are seeing that snow steady as well. It's falling quite moderately, quite heavily, and we are seeing, I just measured the snow, about 5.5 to 6 inches of snow. So that snow is continuing to accumulate pretty quickly, and what makes this snow quite tricky is that temperatures are into the single digits. So any snow that's falling is sticking on contact about immediately. And as Josh said, we have that snow to liquid ratio. So when we have Arctic air locked in like this, you can see that snow falling heavier and quicker because we can hold more snow in the air for 1 inch of liquid. So that snow is falling quite heavily. I think we are seeing about an inch an hour snowfall rates. And as I've been looking across the area, there are some heavier snowfall bands, but we are going to introduce, especially in the south and east parts of the region, some sleet. And sleet formed when we have snow falling from the ground, but then that snow, it gets above freezing, thousands of feet above us, and then on the surface, very cold. So that snow doesn't freeze all the way back down. So we're going to see that a little bit in the south and east part of the region. That may cut a little bit on our snowfall totals. And we are going to be continuing to see impacts, especially this afternoon and evening. I've been seeing some people walking along the street a little bit. I've seen some people with their dogs. I've seen a few cars around. And those cars that have been driving fast, it's a little bit tricky to drive in the snow when you're driving really fast. A lot of sliding, a lot of traction. So if you're headed out, it is a great idea to slow down, take extra time while you can on those roadways. And if you don't have to travel, I'd say for the best, it is a good idea not to be traveling today. I took about 40 minutes normally took me about twice the time to get here in downtown Wilkes-Barre. So it's going to be continuing to snowing quite a bit, and also to mention, very cold out here. Wind chills are below zero. Temperatures are into the single digits. So if you're out here for an extended period of time, wear layers. I'm wearing layers, and it is still quite cold out here. So reporting live in downtown Wilkes-Barre, I'm Matthew Howard, 2822 News. Back to you in the studio.
Oh, thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that. You can almost tell, like, in his lips.
Right, how cold it is outside.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so if you, again, you know, the puppies, they need their little walks or they need to go outside and do their thing.
Right, but don't keep them out too long.
Right.
I believe when it's this cold, no longer than 15 minutes, you can get called on, you can get fined.
Absolutely.
It's definitely dangerous conditions out there for the pets.
Well, we're continuing our team coverage here for you folks at home, so you don't have to go out into this weather unless you absolutely need to. We've got team coverage all over our viewing area, and Connor Core is joining us now live from Montage Mountain area.
Yeah, he's in Scranton.
Yeah, good morning, guys. At this point, probably good afternoon, but we're here at the shops at Montage. We've seen a bunch of people pushing snow away, and actually have the maintenance manager, John Starka. John, we appreciate you stepping on. What have been the conditions like out here? You said you got here, started plowing the snow here today at 6 a.m. today?
Yeah, at 6, and then we went through pretty quick, but on the second time around, it is building up like faster than I can imagine. Right. You know, so we have to constantly keep staying on it all day and probably be here till about 6 in the morning tomorrow.
Right now, I want our photographer, Elaine, I wanted to pan to the people who are actually shoveling snow just to our left. But, John, you know, you've been here since 6 a.m. You've been making multiple stops today. But you were kind of explaining to me, this is what you're meant to do. You enjoyed the snow being out here today?
Oh, absolutely. I don't mind it whatsoever. And, you know, everyone gets some extra hours. And it's just a beautiful day. And hopefully the Seahawks win later on. And it'll be even a better day.
Now, follow-up question to that. Obviously, you know, you're going to be out here to the snow. The snow is not expecting to stop by the time at 6:30 when the Seahawks do end up playing today. You know, you're going to have a game on the phone?
I hope we get a break, okay. Yeah, and then come back off and then finish it off for the night. I might be the only one, but we'll see, you know, because they know how much you know, so.
Now, obviously, for anyone who's been here at the shops at Montage before, you know that the music are playing on the light poles around here, but you were kind of talking off air a little bit, and you're saying all the music that was here, you know, the Backstreet Boys are playing today. Yeah. Does that kind of give you a little bit of enjoyment as well?
Absolutely. Just heard a Robert Plant song I thought I'd never heard in my life here. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a little pep in your step while you're working. So I enjoy it.
Yeah. Is your face, you know, obviously the only thing that's not covered right now is your face. Is your face still?
Yeah, it's not really that cold, to be honest with you. Okay. It's not too windy. So if it was windy, I think it'd be a different story. So yeah. I even unlayered a little bit.
You unlayered a little bit. Okay, gotcha.
Yep,
now, for the people who may be watching at home right now, how would you best describe this snow right now? You know, we were kind of talking, it's pretty powdery right now as well.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty light. Mm-hmm. It's gotten heavier since this morning, I guess because the temperatures are actually going up. But it's not so bad at first, but don't drive.
Yeah, that's been a common theme we've been having throughout the entire day. If you don't need to drive, stay at home. We're here at the shops in Montage. We'll keep you guys updated in and around Scranton, especially at the shops in Montage. Candace and Julie will send you back to you guys here at the desk.
Appreciate all those maintenance workers.
That's a lot to plow up there and get ready for the end of next week, I guess.
And hopefully get some of the businesses back up and running, you know.
Certainly.
All right, we're going to continue our coverage now. We've got Avery Nape, who's joining us with some live coverage of the snowfall here for us, and he is in Kingston. Hi, Avery.
Hey guys, well, yeah, like you said, I'm here in Kingston. I'm on the corner of Market Street and Wyoming Ave. And like Connor was just saying, it's probably best to stay off the roads right now, if at all possible. Not many cars here on the road at this intersection. We have seen quite a few plows coming through the area here, as well as some National Guard vehicles. It's not clear what they're out here doing, but it seems like they're kind of patrolling the area, just making sure things are safe for people. Now, there is quite a bit of snow accumulated on the road here. As you can see, those plows have been out throughout the morning trying to keep things clear, but this snow has been coming down pretty steadily all morning and looks to be staying that way for quite some time. As of Right now, it looks like about 6 or 7 inches here on the ground, maybe a little bit more. I don't have my ruler with me right now, but I will be grabbing that in a second. And we'll check back in with you guys here in a little bit. But for now, reporting live in Kingston, Avery Nape, 2822 News. Back to you guys.
Avery, I saw a couple people in the background there. Are they walking around? Are they going to a convenience store? What are they up to?
Yeah, people have been walking around. There have been a few people in the CVS parking lot, presumably grabbing some last minute goods before they really get snowed in. But yeah, there are people walking around. The sidewalks are clear here, but like I said, it's accumulating pretty fast. They're probably going to have some more work to do here throughout the day.
Certainly. Avery Nape, live in Kingston, Luzerne County. Thank you for that report.
I don't know. CVS is obviously open, so that's good to know.
Well, you might need some sort of medication or prescription to pick up, last minute emergency.
Absolutely. Okay, let's get a check on our weather with meteorologist Valerie Smock and an update on maybe some snow totals, Valerie?
Yes, we've got some snow totals coming in. Now, I do have one here on the map that is basically only from like 6:30 this morning, but a lot of these are getting a little bit more updated, 10, 11, even 12 o'clock. But I do want to point out that even to areas farther west where I haven't seen as many snow totals coming in close to 8 inches in York, and we're looking at outside the studio in Altoona, about 6 inches of snow, and that was as of 10:30 this morning. But back here at home, Pocono Pines picking up a little more than 6.5 inches of snow. Larksville, 5.5. We're also at around 5 inches in Danville. Mill Hall, that was the one that was recorded earlier. I would imagine they've had a few more inches since then. Tunkhannock also coming in at 3.2 inches of snow. That was as of 10 o'clock this morning. Now, I've also had reports in Kingston where we just had Avery, about 5 inches of snow. Wilkes-Barre coming in around 6. Courtdale also the same. So here's what it looks like right now on radar. We are going to continue to be dealing with this snow for the next several hours, some of it steady and heavy. If you see those darker areas of blue, that's where that steadiest and heaviest snow continues to fall. We're not going to see much of a break from this. This is just kind of a constant snowfall, but as we try to get some of that warmer air nosing in from the south, that's when you have that potential to start getting some sleet to be mixing in. So when you look at the big picture on satellite and radar, we do have a lot of snow. This is impacting the northeast, down through the Ohio Valley, down around Nashville. You're actually getting some of that sleet in there and even some rain just to the east. So we have a lot going on with this storm. We are primarily just going to see snow out of this, though the areas farther to the south and east you go, you have that potential for some sleet to mix in. In Scranton, still a decent amount of snow across the area. Roads are getting covered with snow. Crews are out there trying to get them plowed. But as we had talked about earlier, as soon as they clear them, it seems like they start getting filled again because of this snow is so steady. So keep that in mind if you are going to be heading out. Plows very well could have already gone through, but that snow continues to pile up. Temperatures right now at 7, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. We're at 2 in Mount Pocono, 5 in Pottsville, 11 now in Lock Haven, and we do have some winds out there, really more of a wind gust, but that is enough to bring it down. So your wind chills are actually below 0 in several locations. We're under a winter storm warning across all of northeastern and central Pennsylvania. That's for those counties shaded in pink. Then you're in the warning, and this will be in effect until 7 p.m. on Monday. As we go through the day, snow, that's going to be your primary concern. However, as we head toward the afternoon, evening, in parts of the area, even toward about, say, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, there is that potential for some sleet to mix in. I'll show you that here in just a second, but we are going to be looking for that potential of the sleet to mix in for some areas the farther south and east you go. And to add insult to injury, I mean, temperatures tomorrow morning, not all that warm, and so anytime you have a lot of this cold air in place, that snow is just not going to go anywhere. So luckily enough, it is that light and fluffy snow, so it's a little easier to get rid of, but we do still have a lot of it. Here's the timing on Futurecast. So we've got the snow moving through. There's that purple line coming in. That's where the sleet is going to be mixing in. You'll notice it around Allentown, southern Schuylkill, Carbon, Monroe County. That's why we lifted that 8 to 12 inch line up a little farther north, because if you have the sleet, it's going to hold those snow totals down. As we go into the evening dinner time hours, most of those same locations will be seeing that sleet, but by 9 p.m. you've got a little bit of a northern branch here coming up through the Valley cities, the Poconos, even up near Honesdale. If we do see some sleet there, it's not going to last very long, and I don't think it's going to cut down a ton on those snow totals, but it is worth mentioning that if you do start to see that sleet coming in, it's going to hold those snow totals down. And just as a reminder, sleet pings, freezing rain clings. So if you start hearing that pinging, it's that sleet that's coming in. As we get past midnight, things will be much quieter. We do have some snow still across the area, especially the farther north and east you go. This is more so just going to be snow showers as we're trying to get things cleaned up on Monday. You will get several breaks in the action, but snow showers will continue off and on as we go throughout the course of the day, even continuing into your Monday night before we finally get some quieter weather back by Tuesday. But we have periods of heavy snow with us today. Sleet is possible the farther south and east you go, and where we see that sleet falling, it will be some lower totals. A lot of this heavy, steady snow will be wrapping up anywhere between about 7 p.m. and midnight. Travel is going to be rough. You've seen all of our reporters talking about it. If you don't have to be out, don't be out. If you do have to run out, just take it easy. Just give yourself some time. 12 to 16 inches of snow in general across northeastern and central Pennsylvania. 18 inches, not out of the question. Places like the Endless Mountains, the northern tier, those higher elevation locations, you do have a better potential of picking up about 18 inches of snow. Could be some locally higher amounts even there. But where you see that 8 to 12, the farther south and east you go, that's where we have that sleet mixing in. So there is that potential to cut down those totals a little bit. Southern tier, southern Poconos, those areas in general. So for today, we're at 18, partly sunny. It is going to be, or rather cloudy. I'm not sure why that says partly sunny. It's going to be a rather cloudy day. No sunshine today. But for tonight, mostly cloudy. That snow will begin to taper off, and we're back to 12 degrees. And as you look ahead into your future alert 7-day forecast, you're not going to be seeing much warmth. In fact, 22 is as good as we're going to get. That will be on Monday and next Saturday. So we are going to see these snow showers continuing on Monday. We get into Tuesday, Wednesday, you get a little bit more sunshine. We'll try to break down that snow a little bit, give you a chance to clean things out. But snow showers do have the potential to return on Thursday. Might see another shot on Saturday, still a little up in the air, still got several days out. But there will be off and on snow shower chances for the week ahead. Big thing you're going to be looking at is it is going to be cold. Overnight lows in the single digits, and it doesn't look like we're going to be very warm as we head into the start of next weekend. Julie and Candace?
I can already feel my PPL bill.
It's going to be high.
Yeah, exactly. Valerie, thank you. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more coverage for you. All right, welcome back. We're continuing our live team coverage for you of the Arctic assault as we all enjoy this beautiful snowstorm together, my friends.
Yes, and we're in it together, certainly, Candace. Let's go to Brian Orban. He is out in Harvey's Lake, Luzerne County, and see what you're seeing and experiencing out there. Hi, Brian. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Julie. Somewhere on a beach is where a lot of people would want to be right now, including myself, which is one of the reasons I came over here. The visibility across Harvey's Lake, you can really see it here. I'll sort of step off to the side. There is not a lot of visibility going on right now, and you know, normally this area is something people associate with warm, sunshine. It's anything but right now. And over to my right, I've witnessed many municipal trucks plowing out the road, 2nd Street specifically. There are a lot of residents here on ATVs just kind of getting their driveways opened up and trying to deal with the snow as it's coming down. But it seems just like anywhere else, it's coming as quickly as they're clearing it. So there's not really a lot of, you know, roadways and stuff that are still just 100% open and ready to drive on, since, again, that snow continues to fall just as fast as they're clearing it. You know, we'll keep you updated as things go on. Julie?
Brian, thank you. That's not the beach that I was quite thinking I'd like to be on right now, but certainly a pretty view.
Yeah, it is. But he makes a good point, though. Like, you see behind him, you can't even see the shoreline.
And that's how it is also on the roads.
It is.
Or if you're looking out in downtown Wilkes-Barre, all across our region, the visibility is really nil or zero at that point.
Absolutely. I noticed that on the way into work too, about 2 blocks length of between the car in front of me, and I didn't see their taillights anymore. So you keep that in mind if you do have to go out. We've got reporters all over our viewing area for you today. As we saw Brian up in the Dallas area, we've got Colby Hughes now, who's in the Scranton area, and she's describing what you see there. In Dixon City. Sorry, Dixon City. Go ahead, Colby.
Hi, yes, we're up here at the Viewmont Mall in Dixon City, so we've got Commerce Boulevard behind us. As you can see, there's a plow truck going by right now. They are trying their hardest to clear this snow on the roadways, but I mean, as a lot of our reporters are saying today, the snow is coming down quicker than they can plow it. So all of these hills up here in this higher section of Dixon City, they are covered in snow, and we aren't seeing too many people trying to get through these roads up here, just plow trucks, which is good. We did just measure up here in the parking lot of the Viewmont Mall. We are almost at about 5.5 inches of snow right here, and they are still trying to clear the parking lot here, but it's a big parking lot, so it's taking some time. I don't know if you can see anything really behind me, but it's very hard to see up here. You can't really see the mountains or any of the buildings behind that tree line over there, but the snow is making it very hard to see, and that can be very dangerous when you're driving. So make sure you have your lights on, make sure you're driving very, very carefully, very slowly, take turns very slowly, go into your stops very slowly. But yeah, not a lot of people up here. We're just trying to clear the snow and take it as it goes, but we'll update you guys throughout the day. In Dixon City, Colby Hughes, 2822 News. Back to you guys.
The snow certainly continuing to come down there. They're in Lackawanna County. Colby, thank you.
We are continuing our live coverage for you of the Arctic assault as we bring snow totals in, and we're trying to give you different perspectives across our viewing area. We're going to go to Matthew Howard, our meteorologist in downtown Wilkes-Barre here. Matthew, now you were talking before about the kind of snow that we're experiencing. It's that fluffy snow. It's not really the best snowball or snowman making snow.
No, Candace, it's not the best type of snowman making snow. In fact, I can show you right here what this type of snow is. So if I just grab a little handful of snow right here, you can see that I condensed this into my hand. Very powdery, and when I throw this into the air, very much powdery snow. About as powdery as you can get. As Josh and Valerie were saying, those snowfall ratios very high, 20 inches per about 1 inch of liquid in some spots. That's quite a lot, and that's why we're seeing that snow really piling up across the region. Maybe great for sledding, not great for making snowman. And that powdery snow is going to continue, but we are going to see some areas, if not already, and maybe a most southeast part of the region, starting to mix in with a little bit more of that sleet. And that sleet is formed because thousands of feet above us, above freezing, but on that surface area, right near the ground, very cold, and that just causes those ice pellets to form. So if you are headed out traveling, you can see on the road right behind me, that road is covered. We've been seeing some plows coming here and there, But overall, no matter how many plows you get on the roadways, that snow is falling so heavy that that snow is going to get covered very fast. And even I was driving on the interstate, there were some plow trucks, and it is a good idea to stay well behind plow trucks. That visibility is already reduced enough in that snow, and as you have a plow truck coming right behind, that snow is getting whipped right back towards your car. So we are definitely going to be seeing that as a problem continuing throughout the afternoon and evening. Some areas staying mainly all snow, some areas could mix in with a little bit of that sleet. So fairly quiet out here. We've still been seeing some people walking around here and there. The snow will continue to fall, especially as we go through the next several hours. About 1 inch an hour, some areas maybe 2 inches an hour snowfall rates. Reporting live here in downtown Wilkes-Barre, I'm meteorologist Matthew Howard, 2822 News. Back to you in the studio.
Matthew, thank you for that report.
You know, this snow is obviously affecting all of us, whether you're in the roads. A lot of businesses are closed today. And in fact, we just got word that all the municipal buildings in Luzerne County are going to be closed tomorrow for the safety of the people who work in those buildings. So keep that in mind too. I know my kids' school, I just got the alert that they're closed tomorrow, which I figured would happen anyway.
Right, yeah, and we're getting those updates throughout the day, but that is the latest for any Luzerne County municipal buildings, yes. Any county buildings there. So if you work there or you were looking to go tomorrow, you're out of luck.
Kick your feet up, enjoy it.
Yes,
it's a day off from work or whatever. Thank you. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to our live team coverage. Some special coverage for this Sunday afternoon with this Arctic assault making its way across our region.
Yeah, the snow's really piling up out there. It's not the good snowman making snow. It's very light and fluffy, but it's also not the best to drive in either. You know, my way into work today, I don't think I went above 30 miles an hour.
No, I did not either, and I stayed right, behind a car, about 4 car lengths behind, just crawling all the way down this morning, and those conditions have certainly changed since we came in this morning too.
Oh, absolutely. And pretty much anyone I saw on the road today was a plow truck and an occasional passenger vehicle here or there, but most of it was all trucks, plow trucks, DPW workers, which is great. They're doing their best to keep up with the snow, but it seems like as soon as they plow it, they kind of have to turn around and go, did I even do anything? Because it's coming down that fast.
Yeah, it certainly is. And we're taking a look all across our region with different reporters in some of our higher elevations especially. We have Nick Zelaya. He's in the Hazleton area in Sugarloaf Township. Nick, tell us what you're seeing out there.
Hey, Candace and Julie. Yeah, they threw the sports guy out in the snow. So look at this. We're enjoying the snow in Hazleton. I think the key word is steady. A lot of the reporters and our wonderful meteorologists have been using that term, and I think that's a great way to put it. Really, it's been saying about that same consistent pattern coming down from the sky. I believe in the measurements I've heard, it's been around that 5, 6, or 7 range, the amount of snow that's accumulated, and I think that's about the same of here in Hazleton. I'm right outside the Top of the 80s restaurant, and just like many of the other businesses and companies today, they have a sign on their door that says they're closed for just today due to the weather. I think a lot of the restaurants wanted to prepare ahead of time, and a lot of the companies in our area. The drive down 81, it was really weird and unique, being one of many few drivers from Wilkes-Barre down to Hazleton. I don't think I passed a car, maybe passed one plow, and it was a really freaky look a little bit. Just, being on the highway and absolutely nobody on the road. You don't see any of the line markers. I think I was right in the middle of the highway. I was probably in between 2 lanes. So an interesting day, but also like they've been saying all day, all of our reporters, the snow is coming down. It's been coming down, I think, since early morning today, and really has been consistent and steady. And that's the case here in Hazleton. I don't know how well you can see it behind me, but there's actually a good amount of visibility. When I was on the highway, there really wasn't that much you could see, but I pulled up here to see a good distance into the backdrop, and it's obviously very pretty with the wintry look and the white. There's been a couple plows that have done some work here right outside the restaurant, and also the Hampton Inn right next door as well. But other than that, not many other drivers on the roads, really just our workers clearing out the snow and hopefully getting ready for tomorrow, Monday, when some people maybe go back to work, some others enjoy a snow day off. But Candace and Julie, obviously we're staying busy. The reporters are doing a heck of a job, and we'll continue to bring you coverage here on the 28-22 Now app.
Yeah, I see he's got his Broncos gear, so he's ready.
He is certainly ready to go.
Yeah,
but I mean, like you mentioned, we are all hands on deck. We got our sports anchors out there as well.
We appreciate him taking a break from all the sports action to
really
give us some coverage.
Player.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to continue our team coverage here. We've got Brian Orban, who's been up in the Dallas area, the Back Mountain area, giving us updates on what people can expect in that region. Brian?
Hey, Candace. Good afternoon. Yeah, as I was saying before, a lot of municipal trucks out at this point, just going around clearing the roadways. Right as they clear it, though, it kind of sort of just comes back down and covers that road again. We've seen some first responders, not in any emergency or any rush, just sort of driving around, making sure that everyone and everything is okay. And things are pretty quiet here at Harvey's Lake right now. The snow still falling just as steady as it has been all day today. And on the way up here, the highway and the main roads seem to be the roads that are the cleanest and the clearest right now. With any of those side streets, you're going to see a lot of accumulation still on those roadways, and it might be a little bit more treacherous as you navigate, the ups and downs of those roadways. The longer we're out here, the longer that the hot hands come into play here. The key is you got to stay warm while you're out here, Candace. But right now, we're still keeping an eye on the conditions, and I'll send it back over to you, Candace. Brian Orban reporting for 28-22 News in Harvey's Lake.
All right, but Brian, thank you so much. Hey, we just had information that there was a declaration of emergency for Lackawanna County. I think essential personnel
We'll report tomorrow. We're still gathering in on what that means for the county, but that was from the county government. So that would basically mean all non-essential county government are not going to go into work tomorrow. And we'll get more details for you there, more clarity.
Right, everything's changing. Everything's just like the snowfall. It's coming in fast. We're trying to keep up and do the best we can to inform you guys. And we have meteorologist Valerie Smock joining us now with an update on some of the snow totals that we're experiencing around the region. Valerie?
Yeah, we do have a few more snow totals to bring up to you. And I do want to mention that some of the southern counties, not here in our neck of the woods, but we're talking Cumberland, Chester, Lancaster, York, Adams, Dauphin, Clearfield, Center, Snyder, and Perry County. So we do have Snyder. We're already starting to see some sleet mixing in. So you're already getting that warmer air trying to nose its way in. But right now, Courtdale, Wilkes-Barre picking up around 6 inches of snow. Oak Hill 5.7. We're at 5 in Kingston, and we're coming in now at 4 inches in Sayre. Now keep in mind, these are not totals up to the minute. This is just the totals that come in from folks. So there are going to be some ever-changing numbers here as we go throughout the course of the day. Downtown Wilkes-Barre, snow has continued to fall. We haven't seen much of a change in that, and that's kind of what we're going to be seeing here as we go through the rest of the day. Just that snow, which can be steady and heavy at times, and it's also reducing visibility. As you can see in the areas of red, that includes Scranton, Mount Pocono, you are less than a quarter mile for visibility. If you're in the orange, it's less than a half mile for visibility. And down around Sealands Grove and Pottsville, we're kind of at less than a mile, but still not great visibility for anybody that has to be out and about on the roads. And as you can see, it's all snow all afternoon. This is what we're going to be dealing with. You do see some darker areas of blue in a few locations, including northern tier, down through parts of the southern tier into the Poconos. That's where that steady, more heavy snowfall is going to be. So if you see the darker blue, that's where the more moderate snowfall is. Big system bringing snow from the northeast all the way down through the Ohio Valley, but we're also picking up some sleet. That's that pinkish purple color, and in some places we've got just plain rain, but the majority of this storm is going to be just plain snow. So we do have a winter storm warning out for all of northeastern and central Pennsylvania, and this will be the case until 7 p.m. on Monday. Our snow outlook, generally around 12 to 16 inches of snow, though there can be some 18-inch locations. That's not out of the question. Places like the Endless Mountains, those higher elevation areas, northern tier, that could pick up closer to that 18-inch mark. Now, where we are going to be seeing lower snow totals is where that sleet is going to be mixing in. That includes down near Pottsville, Lehighton, Stroudsburg on south and east. If you see the sleet, that's going to bring those totals down, so keep that in mind. Remember, as I just said earlier, sleet pings, freezing rain clings. So you'll know that if it's pinging, you're likely getting that sleet. But that snow will continue to pull away, and you can see by the time in the upper corner of your screen, by the time we get into the early hours of Monday, the majority of this will be out of here, but it is still cold. Temperatures are in the single digits. Wilkes-Barre and Scranton, 13 now. In Lewisburg and Bloomsburg, these wind speeds anywhere from about 5 to 10 miles per hour with some locally higher speeds coming in there, but gusts are even higher than that, about 15 to 25, even 30 miles per hour. So that snow, which is very light and fluffy, will continue to just be blowing around. So that's going to help reduce that visibility. And on top of that, with those winds, it's making it feel more like the single digits below zero in the Valley cities, 12 below zero in Mount Pocono. And it doesn't look like this cold air is going anywhere anytime soon. We'll continue to follow this impactful storm as we go through the next hour.
Valerie, thank you for that report, and we will continue with coverage right after the break.
News.com.
Welcome back. You are tuning in to our special report of the Arctic assault, where we are taking a look all across our region with different reporters posted up. I hope you're staying warm inside. I hope you are kind of snuggled up, have that hot chocolate, and just, you know, not even thinking about getting that snow shoveling done, because this snow is continuing to come down.
Yeah, it's coming down super fast, and you know, today's a great day to just, you know, use the weather as an excuse to do absolutely nothing.
Or
right?
take advantage of the day and
or go outside and play if you want.
You could do that. You could do a little cooking, a little cleaning of the house, a little workout.
Cleaning, get strolling.
Well,
no, but it is. I think a lot of people had that in mind too. I know when I went to the grocery store the other day just to get some supplies for my family because I knew I would be here. A lot of people had the same thought in mind. They're making some soups, they're making chilies because it's the perfect atmosphere.
Baking cookies even.
Cookies.
I hope I'm giving you a lot of great ideas out there. Just let us know what you're up to and send us your photos as well. We're going to take a live look now with one of our reporters. She's in Lackawanna County, Colby Hughes, joining us from Dixon City with what she's seeing out in that region. Hi, Colby.
Hi guys, I hope you're staying warm in there. It is cold out here in Dixon City in Lackawanna County. We are up a little higher. We were just at the Viewmont Mall. We are now at the Sheets in Dixon City, and let me tell you, it is much harder to see as you go higher in elevation. So we can see the road, but yards in front of you when you're driving, it is very hard to see. So just make sure you guys are keeping your lights on and driving very slow. As of right now, not a lot of people are out right now at Sheets getting gas. We saw a few people just filling up, trying to charge their electric vehicles, but there's not a lot of people here. Maybe 3 cars in the parking lot right now. A couple plow trucks are coming to fill up on their gas as they are heading back out because once again they can't keep up with the snow that is just keeping on falling. And I think we are almost about to hit 6 inches here in Dixon City. We had just measured around probably 1240 down in Dixon City at the Viewmont Mall. We were at 5.5. So we are accumulating snow, and it is still going to keep falling. But we will keep you guys updated throughout the day, throughout the night as we go forward and see more snowfall. But for now, reporting in Dixon City, Colby Hughes, 2822 News. Back to you guys.
All right. Colby, thank you so much. Appreciate that. And I like what you said before too. Like, folks, if you're out there and you've got like a great weather shot or picture of the snowfall that's happening in your neck of the woods, share it with us because we want to see what's happening in your backyard. I think a lot of us have the same picture of the backyard, the patio furniture with the snow piling up.
Yeah, maybe your pool or your grill looks covered there or something different.
If you're having fun, if you're sledding, take a video of it and share it with us because we want to be a part of that too.
Certainly, and we want to share it with all of you at home as well. All right, let's head up now to Montage Mountain in the Music Scranton area where we have Lena Lucido. She's going to be joining us with what she's seeing. I know a lot of plow trucks were out there. Whoa.
Nothing but white.
Wow.
Hi everyone. Yep, I'm at the shops at Montage Mountain and it is piling up with snow. I am currently standing on the top. Look it up here. I'm surprised I'm still standing up here, but I'm looking around. Snow is just falling and I'm just seeing white everywhere. It just continues to pile. We've been here since for a couple hours now, and our car is already still being piled up with snow. People have been shoving around the whole area this whole time, keeping it maintaining the snow. But yeah, it's pretty cold here. I actually drove from Wilkes-Barre to Scranton earlier. There was a little bit of swiveling on the road, but not horrible, but I'm assuming it's definitely piled up a little bit more. But yeah, definitely pretty windy and cold up here, but kind of having fun with it. This mountain's fun. I might try and sled down it a little bit later. Who knows? All right. Well, thank you guys. Reporting from shops in Montage Mountain, I'm Elena. Back to you.
Elena, appreciate it. She's also swapping her sports skills for a little reporting
getting creative out there, showing us a different viewpoint.
Hey, yeah, if you got to be out in the snow, you may as well have some fun with it, right? And
certainly.
Heidi Martens is in the Poconos for us. The Poconos is no stranger to getting a lot of snow.
Not at all.
So she's joining us now live on Main Street in Stroudsburg. Heidi, describe what you're seeing there.
Well, I was hoping to have a snowman for you guys next to me during this live shot, but the snow is so thin and light, like Matthew was saying, you can't really build the best snowman. But I have my little measuring stick. Let's see where we are at now because the snow just keeps coming down. We are still at about 7 inches here in Stroudsburg. I am on Main Street. We just saw a snowmobile go by. That is the way of travel here in Monroe County. We had some man with snowshoes on just trying to get his coffee from Wawa. You see many people just walking, not many people on the roads. They were using a snowblower to get the snow off of the sidewalks to keep it clear for everyone. We saw multiple snow trucks go by today. However, the snow will not stop coming down, so these roads are definitely covered. We had some trouble trying to get into this spot today, hoping that we can get out after this. So it's definitely cold out here. The snow just won't stop, but we will keep you posted throughout the day and throughout the later hours of the night in Monroe County. Heidi Martens, 2822 News.
I like that her measuring stick has a little scarf.
Talk about creativity. She had her own little snowman ready to go.
Right. If you can't make it, then, you know, get
Might
creative.
as well measure it.
Yep. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back.
.com.
All right, welcome back, my friends. We're continuing our live team coverage for you of the Arctic assault on our area here. And obviously, we're keeping everybody informed about the snow totals and the conditions as we have reporters all over our viewing area. But there's also a bit of breaking news, I think, happening in the midst of all of this.
Yes, and we have our reporter Avery Nape. He is live at a fire this afternoon in Larksville. Avery, tell us what you're seeing out there.
Candace, Julie, as you can see behind me, there is quite a bit of smoke filling the street here on Falcon Drive in Larksville. Crews responded here not too long ago for a house fire. You can see them working there right now, trying to get in the house, get this fire put out. We were told when we arrived that they were having some issues with one of the hydrants. That one hydrant apparently had frozen over. They were having difficulties getting water out of it, but they were since able to access a different hydrant and get some water flowing into the house there. We have crews here with Larksville, Courtdale, Plymouth. I believe Kingston 44 Fire Department has been called out here as well. There's not too much more we can tell you at this time. As I said, we just got here. Now we're hoping to get some more information for you guys as to the extent of this fire. But as you can see, again, a lot of smoke pouring from that house. Crews are getting that hose in there now. But this, the winter conditions seem to be making it quite a challenge for crews here on scene. This has to be worst case scenario for first responders dealing with something like this in these weather conditions. But as you can see, there is quite a bit of manpower here working to get that fire going, getting that fire out, sorry. We will continue to cover this as it unfolds. We'll be checking back in with you guys here in a little bit when we get some more info. But for now, reporting live in Larksville, Avery Nape, 28 and 22 News. Candace, Julie.
Avery, thank you. And we should point out, too, that anybody who has a fire hydrant around their home or near their home, make sure that that's cleared out for situations just like this.
Yeah, they actually ask about 3 feet all the way around of the fire hydrant, certainly for these conditions.
Yeah, unfortunately. Hey guys, and we're not alone in this. This is a massive storm that's spreading across several states. The storm impacting just about everyone in one way or another. Cincinnati set for a record-breaking snowstorm with significant snowfall and extreme cold there. 10 to 14 inches of snow across the metro area will easily surpass the January 25th record of 5.8 inches that was set in 2004. Heavy snow is going to continue throughout the early afternoon, obviously, and then taper off by this evening. Yeah, officials in Georgia are telling residents to stay off the roads too, but their Arctic assault looks a little bit different than ours. It's a total ice storm down there. Not much snow in sight, with cars completely coated in thick ice. There's an ice storm warning for parts of Georgia that's in effect until 10 tomorrow morning. And a hazy shade of winter is also covering parts of Tennessee. Not sure, but yeah, there's you can see like ice coated there, a little bit of a mix between the snow and ice. And we've got another, what is this? Where is this location? Oklahoma, I believe, a hazy covering Oklahoma City. They were hit with intense snowfall as a major winter storm moved across the U.S. Some heavy snow, sleet, freezing rain started Friday and is still impacting the weather there today. It's difficult to slow down the city that doesn't sleep, that's for sure, but add a little snow into the mix and your jaunt in NYC, things move a little bit slower. This is New York City's Times Square. A lot of people walking around. I mean, that's what you do in Times Square, right? Like, certainly. You don't let the snow stop you. A lot of foot traffic normally. So. Beautiful pictures, though, I bet, right downtown in New York there on this Sunday. Yeah, certainly. Well, we thought all you needed to see this about Labor Day in Los Angeles. Let's see if we can get that video. Oh, man. Doesn't that look nice? We're always complaining about heat and humidity, and then we get all this snow and cold. Goodness. For those thinking fun of the sun, 146 days until summer. Just a sneak peek. Yeah. Until then, California dreaming, right? Okay, let's check back in with some of our reporters who are out covering the elements for you today. We've got Matthew Howard, who is in Wilkes-Barre. Matthew, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Candace. We're out here in downtown Wilkes-Barre. That snow is still falling heavy. Instead, I've been seeing snowfall I just measured. I can even show you in our next segment about our snowfall and how we can measure it. But we've seen a little bit over 6 inches here in downtown Wilkes-Barre. So if you really have seen the big picture, everything's been covered. Those plows have not been able to really keep up with it. Our sidewalks here are covered in snow. And one thing to note, it's been The wind hasn't been overly to the top, but we've been seeing some breezy winds at times, so it's a little bit harder to measure the snow in that case. In our next segment, I will talk a little bit more about that. And we've been seeing some sleet a little bit more possible in the southeast of our viewing area, so that snow turning into sleet is going to cut down snowfall totals in that part of the region. What we're expecting for a lot of the area, though, about 12 to 16 inches, some areas maybe even seeing upwards of 1.5 feet of snow. So this is one of the most impactful storms, winter storms we've had in years for the area. I can remember this is the biggest winter storm I've had since high school. So it's definitely really worth noting, definitely really important to strategize that travel at this time is not going to be great at all. You are going to have to take a lot of extra time if you are going out on those roadways, and if not, best to avoid the roadways overall. And one thing to also keep a note, very cold out here. Our reporters have noticed it's been very cold. Wind chills have been below 0. We've also been seeing wind chills in some areas -10. So if you're out here for extended periods of time, if the kids are playing out in the snow, if the dogs are on a walk, you might want to have them not be outside for as long because of how cold it gets. When you first go outside, it's not that bad. But then when you're out for an extended period of time, your hands start to get cold, your feet start to get cold. It's that type of cold out here. And we are just here in downtown Wilkes-Barre. Some of our higher elevations are a little bit closer to that 0 to 5 degree mark. And we're going to see only a little bit of a warm overnight, but it's going to stay fairly cold. A lot of areas really not going to get to even 20 degrees tomorrow morning. So we're going to continue to update you here in downtown Wilkes-Barre. I'll continue to update you in our next segment. We are going to check out how to measure that snow and how to do it efficiently. Reporting live here in downtown Wilkes-Barre, I'm meteorologist Matthew Howard, 2822 News. Back to you in the studio.
Matthew, thank you. Appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more continuing live coverage of the Arctic assault.
KSNews.com.
Our special report where we're bringing you live team coverage across the region of this Arctic assault, and the snow continuing to come down this afternoon, Nick.
Yeah, quite a quick clip as well. So let's get to meteorologist Valerie Smock with an update at what we're looking at least for now and the next couple of hours. Valerie?
Yeah, here are some snow totals for you. I mean, we picked up anywhere in Tuscarora 9.5 inches of snow already, and that was as of 12:30. Obviously, that was an hour ago. In Hughesville, picking up around 8 inches of snow. We picked up in Montandon 7.5 inches of snow. In Oliphant, 5.5, in Susquehanna, 4.5, probably closer to 5 inches at this point. So we've got a lot of snow coming down at a pretty steady clip, and as you can see, it's still all blue across northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Areas to our south have already started to pick up on some sleet mixing in, but it seems like that's going to continue to try to stay as far south as it can. But keep in mind, if you do see some sleet coming into your area, that is where those snow totals will be backed off. So a lot of snow across the Northeast, back down through the Ohio Valley. You look at Tennessee, you've got a little bit of some snow, sleet, and rain all in just one state. So there's a lot going on with this system, but for us here in the Commonly, looking at just plain snow. Here's what it looks like in downtown Scranton. Very similar shot to what we've been seeing throughout the day today. In fact, we are going to be looking at this snow to be with us for the next several hours, and it is reducing visibility as well. A lot of folks less than a mile, if not even less than a quarter mile for visibility. Temperatures right now in the single digits, Mount Pocono, Milford, Honesdale, Montrose. We're now at 11 in Lewisburg and into Selinsgrove, and everybody is under a winter storm warning across all of northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This will be in effect until 7 p.m. on Monday. Now, luckily enough, a lot of this is going to be tapering off here once we get toward, I'd say, around midnight, and then it's just going to be some lingering snow showers past that. We'll show you that in just a second, but we do have a lot of cloud cover in place and a lot of snow. Now, there is that potential for some mixing the later into the day you go. That's kind of that warm air nosing its way in, and that has the potential to bring in some sleet. That, again, is going to hold down snow totals. For tomorrow morning, temperatures in the teens. It's still going to be cold. It's been cold now, and I wouldn't be shocked if we got even colder than this because we haven't really warmed up very much at this point. Now, keep in mind, when you have this cold air in place, you're not getting anything that's really worth melting because we have cold air that's going to be in place with us throughout much of the week ahead. On Futurecast, there's all that snow, that purple just south of Allentown there. That's where you are seeing that sleet. There is a potential for that to lift north towards southern Schuylkill, Carbon, and Monroe County. And that's where we lifted that 8 to 12 inch line because that sleet, again, will hold down those totals. So as we go through the evening into your 9 o'clock hour, this is the most latest data, you'll see that we do have another little line of sleet trying to work its way in there just to the west of the valley cities. This looks a little bit less impressive than even what we had seen just about an hour ago. Once we get past midnight, you're primarily just going to be looking at some snow showers in the area. And these snow showers are going to be a little lighter, but still impactful because we've already had so much snow. This is just kind of a drop in the bucket, adding insult to injury at this point. By the time we get into your Monday late morning, just a few of those snow showers off and on. We'll continue to see that falling from northwest to southeast as we get into the afternoon hours, mid-afternoon, say. And then once we get into the overnight hours, you'll notice most of that snow is going to be tapering off, and that's actually going to give way to a bit more sunshine once we get into your Tuesday and Wednesday, so that will be pleasant. Still dealing with those periods of heavy snow. We do have some sleet possible to the south and east, and where you have that sleet mixing in, snow totals will be held down. Snow will primarily be wrapping up, at least the steadiest and the heaviest, between about 7 p.m. and 12 a.m. Travel is going to be tricky. If you don't have to go out, just stay home. Let the plows get out there, do their job so it's safer when you do need to get out on the roads. Your snowfall outlook, we're still sticking with that 12 to 16 inches of snow. Locally higher amounts, like around 18 inches, not out of the question, especially places like the Endless Mountains. Then you look down toward the southern tier, southern Polk and east. That's where we're looking at about 8 to 12 inches of snow because of that potential for the sleet to be mixing in. So this is still going to be an impactful storm. Is it one of our hardest hitting snowstorms? No, but it's still going to be impactful. 18 degrees your expected high for today. Cloudy, colder, windy at times. And then for tonight, we're dropping back to 12 degrees, mostly cloudy. And it is going to be some snow lingering, but tapering off as we go through the overnight hours. Your future alert 7-day forecast. So we are under an alert day today because of that sleet and snow. As we head into Monday, it's just going to be some lingering snow showers. Getting into Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll get in on a little bit more sunshine. And then by Thursday, maybe even on Saturday, not out of the question, you could be looking at some more snow showers, but primarily it's just going to be a chilly week ahead. And we've got many nights in the single digits. We're going to take a look now from Houston, Texas, and talk with Josh.
Hey, Valerie, thank you very much. Let's kind of give you a broad perspective. You know, Valerie kind of touched on a lot, so I'm going to try not to parrot most of what she said, but let's get into maybe some nitty-gritty with meteorology, get a little deeper into the weeds here with this particular storm. Out of the gate, it's kind of behaving like we expected over the last couple of days. So that is kind of nice to see unfold, but there have been some minor changes that we kind of need to talk about. So you probably heard us talk a decent amount about the initial low that's going to go into the Ohio Valley, maybe near Pittsburgh, and then the coastal storm will take over. That's going to become the primary player this afternoon and tonight. So in essence, as this is happening, we are going to see periods of moderate to heavy snow across central and northeast PA. That's just going to be the case for this afternoon. Keep in mind that snow is going to come down at the rate of about 1 to 2 inches an hour, especially across northern Pennsylvania, Sullivan, Bradford, Susquehanna, Wayne County, perhaps some of the higher elevations of Lackawanna and Luzerne counties. It's cold. Matthew was just talking about that. Valerie's just talking about that. Arctic air enhances that snow potential. Let's talk about that for a second here. We call that a snow to liquid ratio. If you're unaware, usually what we mean by that is you get so many inches of snow per inch of rain. Okay, so in a normal situation, it's 10 to 1, 10 inches of snow for an inch of rain. In this Arctic air situation, it can be as high as 15 to 20 inches of snow for an inch of rain. And we're going to see those kind of levels across parts of northern Pennsylvania. That's going to happen this afternoon. That's why you may see the snow coming down at about 1 to 2 inches an hour. Then the other thing to talk about is that sleet potential. Valerie talked about that. The window of opportunity is really 2 to 6. Don't hold me to the minute on that one, but that's a rough window. The best chance for that to happen is going to be across Monroe, Carbon, Schuylkill counties, and perhaps portions of Lackawanna and Luzerne counties. Let's geek out for a second. We can sometimes refer to that in the weather world as a warm nose intrusion. That means warm air is working into the mid levels of the storm and basically changing the temperature profile. And when that happens, you end up seeing that transition from snow to sleet. It also brings down those snow to liquid ratios. So now we're going from 15 to 20 to maybe something that's a little bit closer to 10. So when you get in that warm nose intrusion, or you get closer to it, it will bring down those ratios, perhaps causing you to see slightly less snow. Now, we're not saying, it's going to be a significant less snowfall. It just means you may be on the lower end of those ranges. So think of if you're in, again, southern Poconos or maybe even Lackawanna and Luzerne counties. Window for sleet is going to be roughly 2 to 6. The other thing to talk about is the speed. This has sped up a little bit. At least the back end of it has sped up a little bit. Usually, also upstairs in the atmosphere, you get what's called a dry slot. Dry slop moves in and it shuts off the heavier snow. So we expect that steady, heavier snow to maybe wrap up somewhere between about 7 and midnight tonight. All right. So there may still be a little sleet in that situation as it's coming to an end, but we expect that to wrap up between about 7 and midnight. That's going to give, I think, snow removal companies perhaps an opportunity to sneak out tonight to kind of get a jump start on cleanup for tomorrow. So that is certainly good news. I still do think that I'd say 5, 7, 8 o'clock Monday morning, we are going to be in cleanup mode. So that's how I imagine most of Monday unfolding. I think you need to take advantage of that, because if you let this kind of snow sit in these Arctic temperatures, you have the opportunity for that to compact and just become heavier, and you don't want to get into that situation. Try to tackle it as early as you can. If you can't do it tonight, I get it. You know, who wants to shovel snow at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night? So maybe kind of take care of that first thing tomorrow morning. So those are the big takeaways here. Moderate to heavy snow continuing through the afternoon, perhaps coming down 1 to 2 inches an hour. The potential for sleet, the farther south you live, especially southern Pocono, Schuylkill County, 2 to 6. Steady, heavy snow wrapping up between about 7 and midnight. That will help with that cleanup process and kind of set the stage for maybe a slightly better Monday. But, you know, you're going to have to give yourself a little bit of time to dig out of that. It is going to be cold. So, you know, that's something else we're going to have to battle. That enhances the snow. It just makes the whole situation worse. I mean, cold's probably an understatement. It's going to be frigid. It's going to be frigid for the better part of the week. That said, you know, just be careful. Kind of think about that stuff over the next couple of days here. But moderate heavy snow this afternoon, 1 to 2 inches an hour. Sleet potential between 2 and 6, especially the farther south we live. Steady, heavy snow wrapping up between about 7 and midnight. Conditions slowly improving overnight. Keep in mind, that doesn't mean we're going to be done with snow overnight and tomorrow morning. There will still be some leftover snow showers and even some pockets of light snow. So don't think, you know, it's, you know, we're shutting it off like a switch, you know, this evening and towards midnight. That's not going to happen. You know, sometimes we like to kind of joke around. It's just going to spit snow all night. And, you know, I know that may seem gross, but that's kind of the situation that we're in. So it will improve this evening gradually. Leftover snow showers, light snow overnight. We're in cleanup mode tomorrow. I think it's Julie and Nick who are handling our coverage this go around. If, you know, explaining my situation here, I had a trip planned. If I didn't have bad luck, you know, I wouldn't have any luck at all. So here we are. I'm out of town during a snowstorm, and travel yesterday was not the best day of travel, but it wasn't the worst either. I know some other people had it a lot worse. Something on the order of 10,000 flights canceled today. And it's going to take a little bit of time for companies to get those planes back into position and get their system operating again. And if you have to go out today, if you're going to be driving, just take it easy and be prepared for just a longer drive. I know some people have to go to work, so you don't have much of a choice with that, but just be careful. Nick and Julie will send it back to you guys.
Our chief meteorologist, Josh Odell, ironically at a national meteorology conference in Houston, Texas, checking in today.
All right, we have live team coverage, and our reporters are all across our region showing us different parts. We're going to head now to Lackawanna County, where Colby Hughes is in Dixon City. Colby, what are you seeing out there this hour?
Yep, we are in Dixon City in Lackawanna County. We are here at Sheets, and I'm here with our photographer, Paul Davis. Now, I'm going to step out of the way just so you guys can get a better picture of what is going on here at the gas station. We've got a couple people who are stopping by just to fill up on gas. We saw some plow trucks in here earlier. People are trying to, get some food, stop at the restroom, fill up their tanks, and then be on their way as they are driving super, super carefully through all of this snow. And let me just tell you, within the last 20-15 minutes, the wind has started picking up. And I will say the snow wasn't too bad before that, but the wind is just making it all that much worse. And I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. Now, I think we are having about 5 to 6, probably 6 inches now up here in Dixon City. Measured in just a bit, but the snow is going to keep falling, and we will keep you guys updated as we are seeing more of that, and we will be updating you throughout the night as well. So for now, reporting in Dixon City, Colby Hughes, 2822 News. Back to you guys.
All right, and Colby mentioned the winds pick up. That's going to mean blowing and drifting snow. So whatever you shovel might get put back on
Yeah, that makes for quite the cleanup.
It does, yeah. All right, let's get out to Mr. Brian Orban at 2822 News. He is hanging out, I believe, near
Harvey's Lake.
That's right, yeah, Harvey's Lake tonight. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Nick. Good afternoon. Again, still here at Harvey's Lake on a beach somewhere where most people would like to be, although conditions on that beach not very favorable. The snow is still falling, and I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but I took a measurement just moments ago. We're seeing 7.5 inches here from my measurements. Up and down the side roads here, there's a lot of ATVs, PennDOT plows going, and I even witnessed somebody having the time of his life on a snowmobile flying down the road. Looked like he was having a grand old time. The plows are still out. PennDOT is going around. We have words from, first responders just saying to stay off the roads if absolutely necessary. Don't go out if the time calls for it. The roads are clearing up a little bit, though. There is a ATV just passing by, trying to keep up on the snow as it falls. But again, it's falling at such an alarming rate that it's being cleared, and then it's getting coated right back on top of it again. But stick with us as the day goes on. We'll update you on air and live right here, reporting in Harvey's Lake. I'm Brian Orban with 2822 News. Now back to you.
Brian, thank you for that report there. Quite the interesting view there behind you.
Yeah, he's seeing people on ATVs and snowmobiles. Not sure if that's street legal. That's not our job right now.
Right. Let's head now to another part of Luzerne County. We're going to head to the Hazleton area where our 2822 sports anchor Nick Zelaya is taking one for the team.
Bringing in the big guns today.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, Nicholas.
Nick, Julie, hello. Yes, I am currently sitting on a snowbank. The fun part about these big snowstorms are when the plows just pile mountains of snow. You can let the child in you come out a little bit and just kind of plop a seat. Now, I will say my behind is freezing right now, so we're going to speed this process up. But there's a hotel of people that it's actually been relatively busy right near. I'm sure they're looking at me like I'm a lunatic right now. But obviously I said it about an hour ago, the snow's been, steady, consistent, continuing to fall as it's going to throughout the rest of the day. Nick and Julie were joking about, all the guns, the sports guys out here. So I will give my little sport 2 cents, I guess, in this live shot. I've already seen on Facebook and people have reached out to me that a lot of local games in our area are already postponed for tomorrow. So in the anticipation that school doesn't happen tomorrow, which probably will happen for a lot of different districts, that ultimately means many of the athletic events also don't happen. So the local site, when it comes to a lot of high school sports in our area, a lot of games probably won't be happening tomorrow. They'll move to either Tuesday or later in the week. Hazleton, I happen to be here right now. Both the boys and girls basketball team are off tomorrow, so the boys team will be back in action Tuesday. The girls that. But another little nugget I've got for you. I'm sure a lot of people watching us right now are ready to watch the NFL Conference Championship games. The first game between the Broncos and the Patriots. Back in week 1, the Las Vegas Raiders, the 3-win Raiders, beat the Patriots. And then essentially that tiebreak meant the game today is in Denver. Denver and New England both 14-3 this season, but ultimately Denver got the 1 seed because of that Raiders tiebreaker, since they beat the Patriots in week 1 and the Broncos beat them twice. So we could have been seeing a foot of snow and some football if this game was being played in Foxborough, Massachusetts, but instead it's in chilly Denver today, and obviously the NFC Championship game later on, but that Broncos-Patriots game coming up in just a little bit over on WYOU at 3 o'clock. Nick and Julie, I'm cold. I'm going to get back in my warm car and go a little rogue, but I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Nick, thank you for that report out there.
Nick, a huge Broncos fan, I'm sure. In about a half an hour, he's going to be turning over to WIOU to watch that game. All right, thanks, Nick. By the way, the snow is really piling up all across NEPA today, and we got the photos to prove it.
Yeah, many viewers shared their shots of what the storm looked like in their area on our Report It app. Now we want to share some of those with the rest of you.
Love that last one yesterday and today. Huge difference. You can have plenty of time to still send in your snow photos and videos as well. Just scan the code, okay? And then you can go right to your website, our website, 2822news.com/reportit. And many of those photos that you just saw are going to wind up on our newscast.
Yeah, certainly. And I noticed that most of those are taken from inside your house, so that's nice. We're at the top of the hour. That's a wrap on our coverage. Join us on CTV 2822 now.